Peace, what's going down? It's DJ Pain One. Recently, the so-called mumble rap craze has been catching some heat. Of course, intergenerational hip-hop feuds aren't anything too new. If you're a hip-hop fan, you probably recall an experience in which some older folks told you that you were listening to trash and it wasn't real music. But I don't think these feuds have ever been as pronounced as they are today. Now, the current scenario is that non-traditional rappers like Lil Yachty get criticized for mumble rap. They fire back that anyone criticizing them for their stylistic choices is old and bitter, and then the war just goes on from there. Now, one video in particular from Team Backpack, shout out Team Backpack, has been making its rounds on social media and picking up a lot of traction. And now I would like to explain why I respectfully disagree with the opinions expressed in that video. Let's check it out.
Being on stage and people reacting to a punchline or a difficult multi-syllable rhyme that took you hours to think of makes you proud. Or rapping about a topic that has nothing to do with money and drugs shows your versatility. Yet there are artists like Lil Yachty and many others that wants to take that away from you. It's not hip-hop.
This video scapegoats Lil Yachty as the force that wants to erode hip-hop tradition and concludes that mumble rappers are the enemy of hip-hop culture, when just a few months ago, Tyler the Creator and Vince Staples made even harsher comments about old school rap. And they're not mumble rappers. So why does the video focus so much on Lil Yachty? I'm not telling you to go out and support any of these new rappers. You should listen to whichever artist you choose to support. I'm making a video that claims a select few mumble rappers who evidently speak to a large part of the new hip-hop generation want to ruin hip-hop just fragments the genre and the culture. It doesn't unify it. The rope is stronger than a few strands. What's more, the video seems to reduce hip-hop music to bars and clever wordplay. Well, let's jump into the time machine and check out the first recorded hip-hop song. After I made this video, I got contacted by William Young, who is Melly Mel's brother. He said even if it was the first recorded rap song, no one took it seriously, and it didn't have to do with what they were doing at the time. So shout out to the elders for the knowledge. Without them, none of us, not a single one of us would be doing what we're doing right now. And even back then, they were having similar conversations about what they thought was whack, what they thought wasn't. Now, are those the type of lyrics that make you want to shout out bars right after you hear them? But that track is still hip-hop. And people will argue and say, well, rap evolved into music that eventually emphasized lyrics. But though hip-hop has always been diverse, so that argument isn't really true, I could use the evolution argument to support so-called mumble rap. Check it out. If rap evolved from party records in the 70s to wordy battle rap in the 90s, today it has evolved into melody-driven turn-up music. You might not like the result of evolution, but evolution is change and adaptation, and that's what rap has done. That doesn't mean that lyrics are dead. Team Backpack is proof of this. It also doesn't mean that Yachty and Uzi are all we have left in the hip-hop world. There's still lyrical, socially conscious, highly musical hip-hop being released in 2016. Supporting rappers that you like will actually help the situation, whereas sitting around and tweeting about the rappers you don't like doesn't do a damn thing. B-Do in the Team Backpack video says mumble rap isn't hip-hop, but hip-hop has always been diverse, from Bombada's electro tracks to Biz Markie's off-key singing. I was a Public Enemy fan, I still am obviously. I wasn't the biggest fan of the self-destructive drug and violence rap. Clearly other people were, and the genre still continued to survive and evolve in spite of this diversity that we saw in the 90s. Hip-hop has never really been one-sided. Content has always varied, and today content varies even more than it used to. People have been critical of rap music for its content, musicality, image, style since it started, and it still survived. I mean, by all means, express your opinion. Say what's whack, say what's not whack. A lot of people, fans, journalists, as well as hip-hop icons are expressing their opinions. I would never ever disrespect the tradition of competition in hip-hop. When I was first coming up as a graffiti writer, I was being told I was whack left and right. When I was coming up as a producer as well, I was being told I was whack, because I was. At the same time, I could go to a community center where they were having a hip-hop workshop with some older artists, some older producers, DJs, whatever, and learn something from them. The way the graffiti crews were structured, a lot of times they were schooling younger writers so they could come up with the right knowledge and with the right talent. Nowadays that hip-hop has spread so much, there's not as much opportunity for mentorship. And I'd like to see more people from my generation work harder on engaging the next generation or the current generation, whether or not they're fans of the new styles. And it's fashionable these days to hate on so-called mumble rap and claim real hip-hop, but these people claiming real hip-hop aren't talking about this.
And on the first car in small letters it said, all you see is, and then, you know, big, you know, block silver letters it said, crime in the city, right?
So sweet, y'all, and unique, y'all.
that's hip hop. Just the same. It's actually 75% of hip hop technically if you go off the 4 elements model. But all of that is absent from the conversation. And that's why this mumble rap versus real hip hop conversation is at best incomplete and at worst misguided infighting that neither moves the dialogue nor the culture forward. Now let me zoom out from discussing this Team Backpack video and talk a little bit about hip hop as a whole. I personally think it's a shame that many newer so-called real hip hop fans can't name a single pioneering graffiti artist and probably have never seen a turntable in person. But me calling them frauds won't get them to read Subway Art or watch the Rocksteady Crew documentary. Do you have to like all rap? No. Is there a respect problem in hip hop? Yes. When newer rappers and fans feel disconnected from their predecessors or feel that hip hop that came before them is irrelevant, culture is threatened. Hip hop culture has been diluted over the course of many years, and it didn't just happen when Lil Yachty came on the scene. Those of us who realize this can't possibly think that making videos telling newer generations how trash their music is gonna make them turn around and suddenly respect hip hop history. Look, let's be honest, there's a lot of music out there that we don't like. There's a lot of music out there I don't like. We talk about it. Some music we think is trash, some music we think is dope, some music we think is meaningless, some music speaks to us. But what are we doing to ensure that the next generation of hip hop fans gives a damn about the culture? You can get involved, you can work directly with young people, you can volunteer at the community radio station in your area, you can start a youth group. I was a member of a hip hop youth group back when I was a teenager. If we love hip hop culture and feel that it's in jeopardy, instead of creating more intergenerational friction within the culture by criticizing the new generation of artists and fans, let's have a real dialogue. Now this is going to take work and restraint, but we can't expect to strengthen the culture by cutting the young out of it when the culture started with young people to begin with.